It started with a video, 7 seconds long. By the time it hit the school group chat, half the students had already picked a side, and the other half just wanted to see the chaos. The clip showed a girl, dark skin, braids falling over one shoulder, eyes lowered, standing against a row of lockers. 3 boys circled her like sharks, laughing. The one in front, Tyler Briggs, was the kind of bully teachers pretended not to notice. Football star, good smile, bad temper. He'd shoved kids before, thrown insults like candy. But this time it was different. He pushed her once. She didn't move. He shoved her again. Still nothing. Then he said something, and no one heard exactly what, and raised his hand. The video cut out right there. What happened next wasn't on camera. But by the next morning, everyone knew. Tyler Briggs was in the hospital with a concussion, a broken wrist, and no memory of how it happened. And the new girl, the quiet one, hadn't even been scratched. Her name was Amara Lewis. She'd transferred in only 2 weeks before the incident. No social media, no family photos, no history anyone could dig up. Just a scholarship acceptance letter and a calm, steady voice that never rose above a whisper. She walked through the halls the next day as if nothing had happened. Conversations died around her like lights switching off. Some kids stared, others stepped aside, and then there were those who tried to talk to her, out of curiosity, fear, or both. One of them was Lena Carter, the girl who filmed the video. "You okay?" Lena asked, catching up to her at the lockers. "You know everyone's talking about it, right?" Amara looked at her, eyes unreadable. "People talk when they don't understand something. That's kinda true," Lena said, forcing a laugh. "Tyler's friends are saying you hit him hard." Amara blinked slowly. "Is that what they saw?" Lena hesitated. "Well, no one really saw what happened after he—" Amara's gaze cut through her sentence like a blade. "Then maybe they shouldn't talk." There was no threat in her tone, just a stillness that made the hair on Lena's arms rise. That afternoon, the principal called Amara into the office. She walked in calmly, sat down and folded her hands on the desk. "Amara," said Principal Rhodes, an older woman who'd seen every kind of trouble this school could produce. "Do you understand the seriousness of what happened?" "I do," Amara said quietly. "Tyler was injured. Badly. Several witnesses say you were the last person with him before he fell." "I didn't touch him," Amara said. "He fell." "Fell?" The principal frowned. "You're saying he tripped?" Amara looked up, and for the first time a tiny smile curved her lips. "Something like that." Word spread faster than the truth ever could. By the end of the week, rumors had grown legs. "She knows martial arts. She used witchcraft. She's not even human." Every version of the story made her sound more dangerous, and somehow she didn't seem to mind. But Lena couldn't stop thinking about that smile. The way Amara had said it, like she knew something everyone else didn't. That night curiosity got the better of her. Lena opened her laptop, replayed the video frame by frame. She wanted to see if she'd missed something. A blur of motion. A shadow, anything, but in the final frame before the cut, something strange caught her eye. Amara's reflection in the locker wasn't standing still. It was smiling, so wide, sharp, while the real Amara's face remained calm. Lena's stomach dropped. She rewound, paused, looked again. The reflection blinked, out of sync. The screen flickered, and then her laptop shut off on its own. The next day, Lena tried to talk to Amara again. She found her sitting alone under the big oak tree behind the gym, reading from a small leather-bound notebook. "Hey," Lena said, trying to sound casual. "Weird question. Do you believe in ghosts?" Amara didn't look up. "Only the kind that live inside people." Lena frowned. "What does that mean?" Amara closed the book. "You shouldn't watch that video again." Lena froze. "How did you—" Amara's eyes lifted, meeting hers. "Because you did." A chill crawled down Lena's spine. "You were—" "I wasn't there," Amara said softly. "But the house you live in used to be." Lena's throat tightened. "Used to be what?" Amara stood up, brushing off her skirt. "Ask your mother." She walked away without another word, leaving Lena trembling under the weight of something she couldn't name. That evening, Lena asked her mom the question she shouldn't have. "Mom," she said, halfway through dinner, "did someone ever die in our house?" Her mother's fork froze mid-air. "Where did you hear that?" "So it's true?" Her mom sighed. That was before you were born, honey. A girl your age. It was ruled an accident. What kind of accident? Her mother hesitated. She fell down the stairs. Broke her neck. What was her name? Her mother didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, almost too quietly to hear, Amara. Lena didn't sleep that night. She kept thinking about the reflection in the video. The way Amara had looked at her, like she'd seen her entire life laid out in a pattern Lena couldn't see. At 3:07 a.m., her phone buzzed. An unknown number, no text, just a single video file. The thumbnail showed her own face. She tapped play, the screen went black. Then static, then a faint whisper. I told you not to watch it again. The lights in her room flickered. Her phone died. The next morning, Amara wasn't at school. Neither were two of Tyler's friends, the ones who'd stood behind him in the video. By noon, police cars lined the street near the football field. Rumor said they were found unconscious in the locker room, same as Tyler. No sign of struggle. Just the same thing. Blank expressions and no memory of what happened. Lena walked through the halls, heartbeat drumming in her ears. Every shadow felt heavier now, like the air itself was watching. When she passed Amara's locker, she noticed something new, taped to the door, a photo. It was the group shot from the first day of school. Everyone smiling, except Amara's face, scratched out completely, and written across the photo in neat, tiny handwriting, not again. That night, Lena dreamed of the video. But this time she wasn't filming. She was in it. Tyler was laughing, shoving her, and behind him stood Amara, smiling that same cold, knowing smile. When Lena turned toward the locker reflection, she didn't see Amara at all. She saw herself, grinning. As the world began to crack like glass, she woke up screaming, drenched in sweat, the sound still echoing in her ears, and in the faint light from her window, she saw something written on her mirror, 5 words, written backwards. You filmed it before, too. Lena didn't go back to sleep after reading the words on her mirror. She sat on her bed until sunrise, the letters slowly fading as light filled the room. Her mother knocked on the door once, asking if she was okay. Lena said yes. She wasn't. At school, Amara's locker was empty. No books, no photo, no trace. It was as if she'd never existed. When Lena asked around, no one could agree on the details anymore. Some swore Amara had only been there a week. Others said a month. A few students looked blank when Lena mentioned the name. The memories were rearranging themselves. She tried to show the video again, but the file had turned into static. Her laptop's memory showed the same timestamp, 3:07 a.m., the moment she'd received the mysterious message. That evening, she biked to the library, the only place in town where the internet still felt old and safe. The librarian, Mrs. Holloway, gave her the microfilm room key without asking questions. Lena searched the local archive for Amara Lewis. There was one result. Local teen dies in fall. No foul play suspected. The article was dated October 16, 2005. Exactly 17 years ago to the day. The picture in the article showed a smiling girl in a school uniform standing beside a locker row that looked exactly the same as today's. Same braid, same eyes. Everything identical, except the caption read, age 16. Lena's fingers trembled. She whispered, "That can't be her." A voice from the doorway said, "But it is." Mrs. Holloway stood there, her face pale. "You shouldn't be digging into that," she said quietly. "Some stories don't like being remembered." "What does that mean?" "She was my student," the librarian said. "Smart, kind." And then she changed, said she could hear the school talking to her. "The day before she died, she came to me with a mirror from her locker and told me it wasn't hers." Mrs. Holloway's eyes grew glassy. "When she fell, the mirror shattered into 7 pieces. None of us could throw them away. Every time we tried, one would appear somewhere else." Lena's voice was barely a whisper. "Where are they now, Mrs.?" Holloway's answer was simple. "Scattered. One ended up in your house." That night, Lena searched every corner of her home. She found it behind the basement water heater, a shard of mirror wrapped in newspaper. The headline was the same one she'd read at the library. When she picked it up, her reflection didn't move. It smiled. A faint whisper bled through the air like feedback. "Now you remember." She dropped the shard, But it didn't fall. It hovered a few inches above the ground, spinning slowly. The lights flickered. Then it stopped, pointing directly toward the stairs. Something in her gut told her to follow. At the top of the stairs, every framed photo on the wall was crooked. She straightened one and froze. In the glass, behind her reflection, stood Amara. Not bruised, not ghostly, just there. Calm. Watching. Lena turned. The hallway was empty. When she looked back, Amara's image was gone, but words had appeared in the dust on the frame. Stop pretending you're not me. The next morning, Lena's mother was gone. Her car still in the driveway, purse on the counter. Only the phone was missing and the mirror from the bathroom. The police asked routine questions, kind but unconvinced. People leave. Maybe she needed space. Lena knew better. When she returned home, the front door was ajar. On the floor lay the small leather-bound notebook Amara had been reading under the oak tree. Inside were journal entries, each dated years apart. Uct 16, 2005. She says the mirror shows what could have been. I see another me. She's stronger. Fogty 16, 2010. It's been 5 years. The face in the mirror smiles first now. Oct 16, 2017. The reflection called me by name before I spoke. She says it's my turn. The last page was blank except for fresh ink. Oct 16, 2022. Welcome back, Lena. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. A text this time. Look outside. Heart hammering, she stepped to the window. Across the street, under the street lamp, stood Amara, wearing Lena's jacket. In her hand, Lena's mother's phone. Then the lamp flickered and went dark. When it came back on, Amara was gone. But in Lena's pocket, her own phone lit up again. The same message repeated on the screen over and over. Look outside. Every repetition came faster, overlapping, until the device froze and went black. Desperate. Lena went to the one person who might know what was happening, Principal Rhodes. She found the office door open, the hallway empty except for a faint humming sound. Inside, the principal sat motionless at her desk, eyes glassy. A small mirror fragment rested in her hand. Her lips moved silently. Lena stepped closer and heard the whisper. It wasn't words. It was her own name, looping endlessly. She touched the principal's shoulder. The older woman blinked, shuddered, and whispered, "It's the house. It's always been the house." Then she looked straight at Lena. "It's not trying to haunt you. It's trying to remember you." Before Lena could answer, the intercom system crackled, alive with static. A child's voice came through, soft, sing-song. Amara fell. Lena stayed. One forgot. One was made. The office lights exploded into sparks. When the smoke cleared, Principal Rhodes was gone. Only the mirror shard remained, its surface now showing a single hallway. Lena's own. Lena stumbled home in the rain. The house waited in silence, every window reflecting lightning. She grabbed. The shard held it up and saw her reflection split in two, one frightened, one calm. "Who are you?" she whispered. The calm reflection answered, its mouth moving though hers didn't. "I'm the part you left behind." The air grew cold, heavy with that low hum she'd heard since the night of the video. The reflection continued, voice soft, steady, and terrifyingly familiar. "So you recorded it, you watched, you forgot. But I didn't." Lena shook her head. "No, you're not real." The reflection smiled, the same faint, eerie smile Amara had given her weeks ago. "Neither were you." The glass cracked, a single line running from edge to edge. Through it, Lena saw flashes, Tyler falling, the boys collapsing, her own face watching silently. Not Amara's, hers. Lightning flashed again, and the shard shattered completely. When the pieces hit the floor, they didn't scatter. They arranged themselves into a circle, forming a mirror once more. And in that circle stood two girls, Lena and Amara, holding hands, both smiled. Then the mirror went dark. Rain drummed on the windows until dawn, steady as a heartbeat. Lena woke on the floor of her living room, surrounded by the mirror's broken circle. Every shard glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with her pulse. When she touched one, a chill ran up her arm. Images spilled through her mind. Different lives, different hallways, the same face. Amara in 2005, another girl in 1990, a boy in 1973. Each version stared back through time, whispering the same word, remember. The phone rang. She almost didn't answer, but curiosity beat fear. A voice said, "You shouldn't have opened it." It was Dr. Holt, the historian who'd once visited the school. He sounded older, breathless. "The mirror isn't a thing, Lena, it's a pattern. The house, the school, the glass, they're all part of it. Each generation forgets until someone looks too closely." Lena gripped the receiver. "What happens if we remember?" "You stop being one person," Holt said. "You become them all." Then the line went dead. She looked again at the shards. Each fragment now showed a different scene. Her mother waving, Tyler laughing, Mrs. Holloway reading. Behind every one of them stood Amara, always slightly blurred, always smiling. Lena whispered, "What do you want?" The reflection closest to her spoke with her own voice. "To finish what we started." The house answered with a low groan, wood settling like an exhale. Lena followed the sound to the basement. At the bottom of the stairs, the concrete wall had cracked open overnight, revealing a narrow door made of glass. On its surface, her reflection again, but this time she looked peaceful. The reflection reached out a hand. Lena hesitated, then pressed her palm against the glass. It felt warm. A flood of memories hit her all at once. Tyler shoving Amara, Amara not fighting back because it wasn't her, because it was Lena standing there, forgetting who she'd been the last time around. The mirror hadn't created duplicates. It had preserved the same soul, looping through lives, rewriting faces. Lena whispered, "I was Amara." The reflection nodded. "And before that, someone else. We keep coming back to fix what broke." The basement light flickered. In the reflection behind her, the room filled with faint figures, students, teachers, strangers, all versions of herself through time. Each carried a piece of glass, fitting them together like a puzzle. When the final shard clicked into place, the door dissolved into white light. Lena stepped through. She was standing in the school hallway again, but everything was colorless, frozen. Lockers half open, papers mid-full, rain suspended outside the windows. And at the far end stood the first Amara, the one from 2005, watching her. Amara spoke softly. "We tried to stop the violence that made us. We failed each time. You can end it now if you choose to remember, not repeat." Lena looked down. In her hand was the phone with the cursed video. She realized she could delete it, erase the cycle, or press play and start it again. She asked, "If I delete it, do we disappear?" Amara smiled. "No, we finally rest." Lena closed her eyes. For a moment, the laughter of the bullies echoed faintly. The shove, the fall, the scream. Then silence. She hit delete. The world snapped back into color. Rain outside turned golden in the sunrise. At school, students chatted normally. No one mentioned Amara or Tyler. It was as if the loop had never happened. Lena walked past her reflection in the window and saw only herself. For the first time, it didn't smile back. That night, she sat at her desk and wrote a single line in Amara's old notebook. October 16th. The story finally ends when someone chooses to stop telling it. She closed the cover. Somewhere in the house, glass settled quietly. Just glass now, no heartbeat beneath it. But as she turned off the light, a faint whisper drifted from the dark. "Until someone watches again."